Hello, everybody. My name is Jim Farmer. I'm the festival director of Out on Film, Atlanta's LGBTQ Film Festival, and I am sitting here talking to the legendary Candi Staton right now. This is a surreal moment. Let me do a quick bio, and then we're going to talk about these amazing series you're involved with, Disco Spark of a Revolution. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Candi Staton is a legendary American singer-songwriter, best known in the United States for a 1970 cover of Tammy Wynette's "Stand By Your Man," and the 1976 disco chart topper Young Hearts Run Free that I've danced to for probably 30, 40 years right
Yes.
now. For a
Uh,
lot, on behalf of a lot of gay men my
mm,
age, thank you so much for getting us through so much of that. Anyway,
yeah.
you are now one of the subjects of the new docuseries Disco Spark of a Revolution. I've had a chance to see most of it. It's on PBS. It's extraordinary. So thank you so much for talking to me, and I'm glad that you were involved in this series. How did you get involved with this series?
I don't know. My publicist, Bill Carpenter, he was communicating with someone, and they just wanted me in it. And he contacted me and asked me, would I be interested? And I said, of course, sure I would. Yeah.
How, how, how long did you film?
I don't know. It's been going on a long time.
Oh,
I even did some stuff in London. They came to my home
yeah.
years ago, and we did a lot of the foundational stuff for this, my involvement in disco.
Yeah.
And it's been aired in England and Europe, UK and Europe for quite some time. And he asked me that they wanted to do documentary special or something like that. And I said, sure, I'll do it. I'm fine with it. Yes.
I was watching this and I'm just so impressed by how comprehensive it is. I mean, it really, I mean, it really goes to a lot of details and takes you behind the scenes and introduces you to a lot of people that I didn't know about. And I was very taken by this. And I cannot wait for people to see this and experience this. But I just wanted to ask you a little bit. I mean, where were you? Were you in New York when the disco boom was about to take off?
No, actually, I was in LA. I
Okay.
was Burbank with David Crawford. It was by chance that I got into disco. I didn't even know what disco was. So Warner Brothers was opening a new genre of disco
Yeah.
music, and they was opening new offices and getting people involved in it and getting, the people, the promotion and all of the others, the A&R and all the stuff that they were doing at that particular time. And David Crawford was a friend of mine.
Yeah.
We had been friends for years. Oh my goodness, we've been friends because I met David Crawford when I was doing gospel music when I was a child back in the day, and so they were with the Caravan. He was a keyboard player for the Caravans, a gospel group called the Caravans. And I was out there doing the times with Sam Cooke and all of the people, Lou Rawls and Staple Singers and Mahalia Jackson and
Mm.
oh my goodness, just loads and loads of people that I was involved in. And David and I, he used to always say, one of these days we're going to do a record together. I said, I know, but I was always with someone and he was with someone else, in contract, and we couldn't get together. So we were both free. I had just gotten free from uh, uh, Rick Hall and Muscle Shoals,
Hmm.
just giving me my contract and I didn't re up. And Warner Brothers wanted to sign me to their label. We were distributing. Rick was distributing. Fame was distributing from Warner Brothers, and they wanted me on their label. And so we signed off, and I signed on with Warner Brothers. And lo and behold, I went to Burbank to talk to them about the next record or the first record without Rick,
Hmm.
and David was there
Oh, wow.
for an artist. And I said, and they said, we don't know who can produce you, but we do have a guy here says that he knows you. and his name is David Crawford. I said, "You're kidding." He said, "No." I said, "Oh, I've known him for many years. He is so good." He had out this song called Precious, Precious. You remember that song?
So, yeah.
That was his cousin. And that gone big. And so I met with him. He said, would you like to try doing something with him? I said, I'd love to. I think it's a hit. And so we did. And we went in the studio, we signed our contracts and all. Everything was legal. Went in the studio and started doing songs. And then I left and went back to Atlanta, and he moved to California.
Mhm.
And then we were after we would sit there sometimes doing, when you got a break after recording, we go to lunch or something together. And I started telling him about my story, about my love life.
Mhm.
And I was telling him, like, I'm with this dude, man, and he is just the worst. And I don't know how to deal with this. He's threatening me. He's saying he's going to kill my children if I leave him. He said, I better not say the word divorce. I said, I don't know what to do with this dude. I said, I don't know. I've been thinking a lot of things and I can't do what I really want to do to him. That would be against the law. But I got to get rid of him some kind of way. I don't know what to do. And I was so frightened of him.
Yes.
He had put a fear in me. And then I would be telling David about all this stuff. Little did I know he was writing the song. He was writing down what I was saying. I really should have got part writers on this song because I gave him every lyric that he put on the song. And when I came back to California, he said, it's time to finish the album. And Warner Brothers flew me back to Burbank. And we sitting there and I walked in the studio and I heard this beautiful music. I mean, the most heartwarming, beautiful, up-tempo, dancing, gorgeous, just goosebumps music. And I'm saying, what in the world is this? And he said, oh, you're going to love it. You're really going to love it. He said, I'm going to write you a song that's going to last forever. And you know what he had done? He fasted. He fasted to get into the spirit realm, to get what he needed. And he had fasted 40 days and he was skinny and his lips were white. I said, you look horrible. What has happened to you? He said, I've been fasting for this song. I said, oh my goodness. And he said, I have the first verse. He said, but go to lunch. I'll have the second verse. And so I came back from lunch. He said, are you ready? I said, sure, I'm ready. He said, let's go to the vocal booth. And we went into the vocal booth. And he sang the song down once for me. And he said, do you think you can do it? I said, I know I can.
Mhm.
And so I'm reading the sheet. And he goes back to the control room. And the music starts. Dun, 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 and I knew exactly when to come in. And I sung the song down once, reading the lyrics, but I put the feel that he wanted in that music.
You certainly did.
I was singing me. I was singing my life story in 3 minutes. And I put my soul, I could feel it was like, when I said the words, it was like something would come over me that I'm like, this is just my story. I'm singing me. And we finished the song. And David says, you can come in now. I got what I want. I said, no, 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 no. No, I'm not. That was just a run through
Mm.
to get familiar with the song. He says, that was not a run through. That was the song. Come up and listen. I said, can I do it again? He said, oh, you can do it many times you want to, but I got what I want. And so I came up, I did it again. And I came up and he still kept the first take. So I did Young Hearts Run Free in one take.
Oh, that is amazing. It,
Yes.
it's one of those songs that when you listen to, you have to dance or move, you have to feel something. What was it? Do you remember the first time that you were perhaps with a group or in a bar or somewhere and you heard that song around other people and they just started dancing? What was it? Or just you could tell they were really into, what was that experience like?
It was I was so happy. I would be dancing too. I'd get out there, right out there with them. And it was just like, I couldn't believe uh, it just went from, just kept going up on the charts and just kept,
Exactly.
like, I'm like, my word. But you know what? It's a sad song with a happy beat. And a lot of people don't understand
Mm.
the lyrics that they're dancing to, but they're actually dancing to a hard song. Somebody telling you what's the sense in sharing this one and only life of just for the lost and lonely wife. You count the years that be filled with tears. Love breaks up to fall over. You'll get the babies, but you won't have your man while he's busy loving every woman. I'm, that's a sad, that's a sad story.
Yeah,
But the music just carries it to where you
absolutely.
listen to the lyrics. The music is so nice.
Absolutely.
And I'm telling you, and it's lasted too. It's going on 50 years almost.
Wow, that's hard to believe. So when obviously, the story you've told me and the story everyone has told me and what I've seen in the docuseries is that, disco was sort of unintentional. It didn't, it was started here, there, and then it sort of became a movement, became so mentioned. But why do you think that it took off the way it did? Was it just a combination of good timing and great music and just everybody coming together?
No, Gloria Gaynor broke the glass ceiling.
Yeah.
Yeah, she broke the glass ceiling before Gloria come out with "I Will Survive." Women weren't singing those type songs,
Yeah.
those up tempo. It wasn't supposed. We didn't even do it for disco. They
Hmm.
just, it was just by chance it got disco. But women were singing sad songs because at that time, mostly men were the DJs.
Hmm.
You didn't have very many women DJs.
Yeah.
So men would they like those old songs begging them to stay, don't go away. Uh, I'm crying for you in the middle of the night, and I'm missing you. Would you please come home? He called me baby all night long. And I miss him so much. Those were the kind of songs that women were singing because we had to want to get some airplay.
Exactly.
And the men would love it. The DJ men would just love it. Sing to me, baby. Yeah, yeah. I come home when you want me to come back, and all that kind of stuff they'd be carrying on. But when Gloria came out with "I Will Survive," it broke the glass ceiling that
Exactly.
women are strong, women can do it, women are confident, women have a life other than the life that we were singing about. And then Young Hearts Run Free came out. And then that went up too. So we were free, finally free to do what
Exactly.
we wanted to do from our hearts.
Yeah. This was an era where so many new female singers came to the forefront, but it was also an era where there were a lot of gay men who were
Mhm.
involved behind the scenes. So can you sort of talk about, some of the gay men and how liberating it was to have disco and to be in the bars where they could be
Mhm.
themselves and hear this music and just dance all night?
Yes, it became like a gay anthem
Hmm.
as well as victim.
Yeah.
It became as a gay anthem. They would love to dance to that music because they felt freedom.
Yeah.
And so this is the reason that they would love it so much. And quite honestly, the gay community is some of my biggest fans.
Hmm.
When I go places, half the place is filled up with gay people, and I love them so much. they they love me back.
Oh, of course they
Yeah,
do. Of course they do. Have
yeah.
you um have you had a chance to watch any of the docuseries yet?
No, but I plan to. I think it's supposed to air tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, I believe it is, on PBS.
Yeah,
So I'll watch what they've done. I'm not gonna miss it. I'm gonna watch.
I've seen the first three episodes. It's extraordinary. Um,
Really?
it's just so very well done, and just the detail. And there's so
Mhm.
many people that you meet that you didn't realize were so instrumental. And of course, the music's there. It's just incredibly well done. And thank you so much for your involvement with this. Now, so you've lived in Atlanta for quite a while. I mean, do you get out and about much? Do you go to many events where people can recognize you these days?
Not really, not since COVID.
Yeah.
I try to stay out of big crowds, only when I have to. When I do, just left Europe last year. I did my last tour. I
Yeah.
did the Glastonbury Festival and the Love Supreme Festival and a couple of more festivals, and they were packed, crowded, and I tried, but my area is not with the major audience out there. So I
Yeah.
was able to do it backstage area in my dressing room. So I wasn't in close contact with anyone.
Hmm.
But I try to stay away where I'm, with a lot of people around me.
Hmm.
Because after all, COVID is still around.
Yeah, exactly.
It's still around. We don't hear very much about it, but it's still there. And I'm 84 years old now, and I don't want to catch COVID or
Oh,
anything else, or pneumonia or any whatever. So I'm
exactly.
very careful where I go. So I'm basically a home person now. I do
Exactly.
go out with my family and I have dinner with them out in restaurants and stuff.
Hmm.
But basically, I'm a homebody. And it's about time. I've been singing since I was 5. Don't you think it's time?
It's time for you to retire and do what you want to, and don't leave the house unless you absolutely have to. You
Yeah.
are you are completely
This is my time now. I'm gonna take it.
exactly. Oh my gosh, this has been such a amazing conversation. Candy, thank you so much. The docu-series is Disco Spark of Revolution, which is on PBS, depending on when you're watching this, it might have already started. It's a four-part docu-series. It's extremely
Mhm.
well done. Candy is one of the subjects. And again, Candy, thank you so much for talking to me, and thank you
Yes.
so much for your extraordinary career. This is just kind of a fanboy experience. Thank you so much. I've enjoyed this.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
You have a great rest of the day.
You too.
Thanks so
Bye-bye.
much.